So this is what's really interesting. It's not just, hey, people are eating a lot of hummus. It's also how it might revolutionize the farming industry here in the U.S. So chickpea farming is now a $115 million business, but you have to compare that to just $55 million just 3 years ago, right? So it is definitely growing. The main regions right now are Idaho and Washington. So they like that cooler weather because it attracts this fungus that's like humidity. But now East Coast farmers want to get in on this action. They want to get it, but you know what? Virginia, really hot. So the question is, how do you create the right kind of chickpea to grow in an environment that can fend off the disease in order to sort of move production around the United States?
Okay, so farmers in Virginia are pretty happy. What about companies? Which companies are making the most money off of Tom loving hummus?
All right, well, really, we're looking at Sabra here. It's a joint venture of PepsiCo and Israel Strauss Group. It started back in 1986 in Queens. And it now has and it has the world's largest hummus factory right now in Richmond, Virginia, where they're undergoing an $86 million expansion. So for some, you know, how much market share do they have? They have 60%. Total sales of refrigerated spreads, so that's mostly hummus, is up 15% over the last year. $582 million.
Does hummus work with shots of tequila?
Hummus can work with anything. I particularly like it with carrots. Actually, it's interesting you bring that up because in all seriousness, Sabra is trying to partner with the NFL to become the official spreader and dipper of the National Football League.
For real, that's what they want to be.
Yeah, so they're kind of
too artisanal.
So they're trying to mainstream. They're trying to mainstream. It's really interesting.
So wait, their strategy then is to go big, to go mass market, really.
Yeah, and the reason how they're doing that is free samples because, like we said, a lot of people don't even know what hummus is. They have to kind of teach you how to do it.
But the growth rates here is serious. I mean, seriously, we make jokes about it. But when you look at corn plummeting and you look at wheat, corn, acreage substitution,
right.
This is a cash crop.
$115 million cash crop compared to $77 billion for corn. I mean, this is a fraction of the corn industry.
What acreage
here
does
in
it
the US.
replace?
Currently, it looks like it'll be tobacco if it migrates over to the East Coast, because tobacco is very labor-intensive, right? It's really expensive to produce. And the farmers that I've spoken to in Virginia like chickpea because, A, you don't need fertilizer. It makes no nitrogen. B, you can do it yourself. You don't need a herd of people to do it for you, and the same equipment can be used to farm.
So it's efficient and the turnaround is fast.
Right.
Tom?
What do you put in hummus? Is it olive oil and crushed chickpeas?
You can put, traditionally,
no, what is it?
And lemon
tahini and chickpeas and lemon juice. Now, to be fair, the hummus we make here, I think a lot of Israelis would say that's not real hummus. And that's kind of, and I actually spoke to Rohan Zohar.
Hummus right now.
I spoke to Rohan Zohar, who's the CEO of Sabra, to kind of get his idea of where the business is going. So take a listen.
The hummus category several years ago was a small category. It was a category that's something like $50 million category. Today, after 6 years, we're talking about $800 million of category. Sabra today, we are representing 60% of the market. We are able to grow something like 20, 30, 40% every year. So we double our business every second year.
And to your point, what is hummus? What we're seeing now is companies like Sabra, like Tribe, trying to make it very, U.S. friendly. So like everything flavored hummus. Different types of texture that's very smooth versus chunkier, which is hummus.
That would explain some of the big selections.
Hummus whiskey would be
We're not doing hummus whiskey.
No, I definitely do not want to do that.
We're doing black cherry whiskey. So.
Black cherry whiskey? Oh.
Yeah, well, it's like,
I don't think that's going to take off. I don't think that's going to help.
They don't have flavored hummus in the Middle East?
No, it's very traditional. They also have sort of darker hummus because there are two types of chickpeas. We use the one that doesn't have a lot of flavor. There's another type that's brown that has a lot of sexy flavor that we probably couldn't take here in the U.S. But the point is, if it's chickpeas, it's tahini, and if it's olive oil. I had a Rohan Zohar saying, that's hummus.